this is the 9.5 with another episode Thoughts for Sailor Moon Crystal. This is for episode 15. And with this, we actually really get the first full episodes for the Sailor Moon R storyline. Of course, we kind of start off with, Chibiusa and pretty much like the rest of her introduction. And I guess when it comes to like changes from the manga, the two, or some of the biggest ones though, for this, let's see, I have them in my mind. I guess the first one that I can think of is that when Sailor Mars, she has her like dream of a koan, taking someone out with her fire. It's this like middle-aged man, while in the manga it was a little girl, and I can somewhat understand why they decided to change the victim, because it's actually this story arc is actually kind of rather dark, with the fact that we're getting people actually dying in this, as we see in this episode, as Gohan also, we hear that there are these rumors that people are like spontaneously combusting, which of course means they're dying, and we find out that it's definitely Koan behind it. We definitely know for a fact that, that's a middle-aged man. He was probably one of the victims, and we know like one of the sisters at Ray's school, also one of the victims. I guess another change is the fact, just like little things with like the festival and how that all works out with the like Ray storyline there, just kind of shifting some things, like the fact that she doesn't meet Koan until, actually at the festival once it started, while in the manga, Koan comes and visits like their club beforehand. And also that in the manga with Ray, we have some like exposition about like who she is and her past, coming from her fellow students in the manga, while in the anime that just kind of gets dropped in general. So we don't really learn too much about her, or just those little extra bits of information, which is like basically that she was raised and lives in the Hikawa temple with her grandfather, and just kind of like that basic thing. I'm thinking, oh yes, and of course with the battle against Koan, in the manga it is just Mars on her own at first, and then everyone else comes in later, while with this it starts off with everybody together. But it kind of still ends the same way, where Koan gets killed by Sailor Moon with her new moon rod attack, while Sailor Mars gets captured and abducted by Rubius. That's like one of the things I didn't care too much about the Sailor Moon R arc in the manga, is the fact that the first part of it is basically taking out most of the Sailor Guardians. So I'm not quite looking forward to that. Though, on the other hand, it does mean that since it's sticking a bit more to the manga, we'll get much more Pluto to be seen than, we did with the original anime adaptation. Let's see, and of course, like, the big thing that happens in this episode, I guess, is the fact that we do get some new items. Like, the Guardians, they all get new, transformation pens, as well as new, like, wrist devices to communicate with each other with. And, like I mentioned, Sailor Moon, she gets her moon wand with this, which is pretty much something that comes, or that is kind of created between her and Tuxedo Mask, which is, I guess one of the nice things that in the manga is that, with their relationship, and just kind of how it intertwines, I guess, with Sailor Moon and her duty, and the fact that together they do they are able to like come up with things like at this point a new weapon for Sailor Moon. And other than that, it just kind of keeps it simple. I mean, with Chibiusa, she isn't a lot of focus. There's still that whole everyone trying to figure out who she is and where she comes from, and at this point it's all rather kept a mystery. It is alluded to the fact that she does look a lot like Usagi, but not much more to that. And of course, since we're sticking with the manga, we don't have to wait until like halfway through this story arc to actually meet like the major villains, as we get to pretty much see everyone rather early on in this episode on the villain side, which I guess is rather nice. Of course, I recently kind of caught up with the Sailor Moon R, kind of what's out English subs on Hulu for the original anime series, and I have to say, I actually kind of like the fact that in that, the Spectre sisters, like Koan, they actually kind of get saved in that version. Unlike in this one, where they're pretty much like basically red shirts or like cannon fodder, because we do go through them rather quickly, don't really learn much about them, which is kind of disappointing when you compare it to the original anime series, but this is more kind of based on the manga, but it looks like they don't get that they don't get the save that the Four Kings did in the previous story arc. So I guess there's really no new elements that can keep you guessing so far for R. It looks like it's probably going to be a little bit more faithful adaptation, which isn't too bad because, like I said, that should mean more Sailor Pluto, and personally I love Sailor Pluto, so I'm really looking forward to her actually making her debut with Crystal, especially since she gets to do so much more with in the manga than she did in the original anime. So really excited about that. But yeah, I think that just sums everything up. I mean, like I mentioned, with Sailor Moon R, I definitely was kind of disappointed, or don't really care for the fact that, like I said, the first half is basically about the Sailor Guardians getting kidnapped, which we get the first with this episode. Because, I definitely want to see more of them. In fact, I kind of love that we got that scene with them kind of all together at that like cafe place, and get to see a bit more of their like bonds of friendship. And I did kind of that Ray kind of really noticed that, or like her fellow students noticed that she's been warming up, that she's been kind of changing of late, and of course Ray also kind of noticing that there is a change occurring with her, and that she seems to be like picking up habits from like being with her friends. So I kind of like that. It definitely kind of shines a bit of light on like the friendship of the girls, though we don't see too much of it. And like I said, again, kind of frustrated with the fact that we're not going to get too many more chances with the way that it plays out in the manga. That said, it does kind of make me really hope that we get like S, Super S, and Stars, as if I remember right, those storylines, we definitely get a lot more of the Guardians. And I guess now with that all said, I'll go ahead and wrap up. Thank you for watching. I hope you subscribe to my channel, leave a like or comment. Until next time. Bye.